Hey guys,
Hello.
welcome back to Spooky Sleuths.
In today's video, we're delving into a grim chapter of the past, medieval torture methods.
The Middle Ages were a time of brutal justice, and the methods used to inflict pain and extract confessions were both creative and horrifying.
Join us as we uncover 5 of the most notorious torture devices and techniques from medieval times.
Let's talk about the rack. It is one of the most infamous torture devices of the medieval period. The rack. This horrifying contraption was used to stretch a person's body, causing extreme pain and often dislocating joints.
Ow.
The rack consisted of a wooden frame with rollers at each end. The victim's hands and feet were tied to these rollers, and as the rollers were turned, the victim's body was slowly stretched. This method was intended to break the victim's will and force them to confess to whatever their torturers wanted to hear. The rack was notorious for its excruciating pain and the prolonged suffering it inflicted.
Next, we have the Iron Maiden, a device that has captured the imagination of many due to its macabre design. Contrary to popular belief, it's unclear if the Iron Maiden was actually used during the medieval period or if it was a later invention, but it remains one of the most iconic symbols of medieval torture. The Iron Maiden was a sarcophagus-like structure with spikes on the inside. When the doors of the maiden were closed, the spikes would impale the victim, causing fatal wounds. The design allowed for a slow and agonizing death, intended to prolong suffering and terror. It's a grim reminder of the creativity with which cruelty was applied in history.
Moving on from that, let's talk about the Brazen Bull, an ancient Greek invention that was used during the medieval period as well. This device was designed to simulate a fiery death in the most horrific manner. The Brazen Bull was a hollow metal bull with a fire chamber underneath. The victim was locked inside the bull and a fire was lit beneath it. As the metal heated up, it would burn the victim alive. The bull was cleverly designed to amplify the victim's screams into eerie sounds, adding psychological terror to the physical torment. This method was both a physical and psychological instrument of horror.
Another gruesome device was the breaking wheel, also known as the Catherine wheel. This torture method was used to inflict extreme pain and was often employed as a form of execution. The breaking wheel involved tying the victim to a large wheel and then using a variety of methods to break their limbs. The wheel itself was slowly turned while the victim's bones were shattered with heavy iron bars. This method was not only agonizing, but also intended to serve as a public spectacle to deter others from committing crimes. The victim's broken body was often left on display to further instill fear.
That's horrible.
Yeah, new fear unlocked.
Lastly, let's examine the Judas cradle, a particularly cruel and inventive torture device. This method was designed to cause both physical pain and psychological torment, as most of them do.
Yeah.
The Judas cradle consisted of a wooden seat with a pyramid-shaped point. The victim was slowly lowered onto the point, which would impale their body. The goal was to apply increasing pressure, causing intense pain while potentially causing severe internal injuries. This device was often used to extract confessions or punish perceived transgressions, making it both a physical and mental torture device.
The methods we've explored today are stark reminders of the brutality that characterized the medieval period. These devices reflect a time when justice was often synonymous with suffering and cruelty.
While these methods are deeply disturbing, they also serve as important historical lessons on the evolution of human rights and justice. Our understanding of torture has evolved significantly since then, and today we strive to uphold values of human treatment and dignity.
If you found this exploration of medieval torture methods both horrifying and fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into history's darker corners.
Leave a comment below with your thoughts or any topics you'd like to see us cover next. And on that note, stay spooky, friends.